AMD's new APUs have been out for a minute, but there might be a good reason why not that many gamers are buying them. What's up guys, Andrew here on my channel Geared Inc., where I get to share what I'm passionate about with you. To my channel, that's PC Tech, Games, and Gear. Today we're talking about Ryzen's APUs, and while I personally haven't seen a lot of gamers jumping on these, even though it's something that, if you guys remember, we pretty much bayed for when they were announced back earlier in the beginning of the year. So here's the thing, these APUs are fantastic now that I've had a chance to play with them. Thanks, by the way, to John for lending me some of your CPUs so I could do some testing. But basically, if you are doing entry-level gaming, indie gaming, or you just need something to get your foot in the door, they're a great value. They really are. That being said, this APU is in a very weird position for me, and I have kind of a controversial opinion because for gamers, I don't think they're the right value moving into 2022 if you're going to be building a gaming computer. The biggest reason why is that these use a monolithic die, not a chiplet design. What that basically means in simple terms is they have half the cache that the other Ryzen 5000 CPUs have, which is the biggest detriment to their overall gaming performance. And I get it. I might be nitpicking at these numbers, which I'm gonna get into with you guys, but here's the thing. Let's say that you're my friend and you come to me asking me for advice on how to build a new gaming computer. As your friend, I'm going to tell you to buy the thing that gives you the best bang for your buck, the highest performance for how much money you're spending. And the fact that there are other CPUs in the stack that are either the same price or very similarly priced, but with objectively better gaming performance, as long as you can get hold of a graphics card, is very difficult for me to recommend if you're my friend. Now I get it, GPUs aren't available, which is what makes this APU so appealing, but let's talk about the gaming test that I ran so you guys understand kind of where I'm coming from. So the first game that I tested was Cyberpunk, and this is a game that honestly, I don't know a lot of people who still play it, but it's really poorly optimized still, and so it gives a good idea of just having to have like the hardware to kind of gut your way through it. Going on to Call of Duty, this is a great example of why this might be a problem. When you're playing any game, and again, these aren't bad by any means, I mean, we're still getting well over 100 frames per second on most of these tests. But when you're playing a game that you're shooting at enemies and you're tracking targets and you're trying to do, give you every competitive advantage you can, even as a casual gamer, it's frustrating to know that there's another product that you could have paid either the same amount or a little bit more of, if you could have gotten a hold of a graphics card anyway with it at the same time, being able to get that better performance. The Ryzen 5000 APUs, while great values and good performers, still lag behind on average about 21% against the 5600 and the 5800X. Now, if we were talking about buku bucks in terms of the difference in cost, this would be an entirely different discussion. But if you're buying one of these because you're eventually hoping that you're going to be putting a new GPU alongside of it, so that way that you can get better gaming performance overall, it, to me, sucks only from the standpoint that the other CPUs are going to be about 21% faster on average across most of your titles, meaning you're giving up 21% performance for the same cost, assuming you can get a graphics card at MSRP eventually. And ultimately, that leads into my thoughts on these APUs. I get it. You can't get a graphics card. This is what you can get. Totally makes sense, and so you go out and buy it. But for me, it would be that nagging in the back of my head that, hey, there was a CPU that was objectively better if I could get a graphics card and build a new gaming computer that was exactly the same cost or really close. Especially when you consider that Intel's 10 nanometer is supposedly going to be 10 to 15% faster, and that's coming out at the end of this year, even though they're using stupid branding saying it's Intel 7, which isn't 7 nanometer. Don't pay any attention to that. Like, guys, I'm on your side. Not wanting to wait to build a gaming computer and grabbing an APU right now, it's very enticing. It makes a lot of sense. And if you've got no option and you're not like me where you agonize over performance for how much money you're spending, then this video is probably not very valuable to you. But if you were my friend, I would tell you this. If you can wait, do not buy one of these APUs and then throw a graphics card in it later. Because quite frankly, the same advice applies no matter the market. If your computer does exactly what you want it to do, don't spend any more money. It doesn't make sense. And if you're looking at building a new gaming computer, let's all cross our fingers that 2022 isn't gonna be the repeat of 2021 and things will continue to get better. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it for you. Again, this is my controversial opinion. Light me up in the comments if you want to. But if you enjoyed this video, leave me a thumbs up. If you thought it was terrible, leave me a thumbs down. Remember to get subscribed and hit that bell icon so you know when these videos drop next. As always, guys, if you want to support the channel as well, links for all these products will be down in the description below. And I'm going to continue to make these videos whether you watch them or not, but I hope you do. And I hope to see every single one of you next time here on Geared Inc.